boy could get used to that. Hi there. I got a deal for you. I'm Dr. Ralph Pavino, occasional storyteller and director of the Tucker Fellows program. Thank you all for coming out to hear me speak again, especially those of you in the back corners. It really means a lot. Founders Day 2026. The GPS is 120 years old today. Can you imagine? That really sounds like an awfully long time. For me, it doesn't. I can hear a tenth of it, and that really makes me think I'm old. But I want to talk to you today about a few things. Looking back over the records of our previous big anniversaries recently, I thought I would share with you a few things which are of note. On the 50th anniversary of the GPS, there was a special lecture about GPS history by headmistress Mary Hannah Tucker. It was followed by a glee club performance. Nice. For the 75th anniversary, the girls put on a special production of The Sound of Music to honor the fact that Maria von Trapp once had come with her family to visit the GPS, though we are told she didn't sing for them. Bit odd. The school's 100th anniversary, for obvious reasons, they went all out. Those of you who are going to still be here for the 125th will undoubtedly come to know what that looks like when it comes around. They set up a Centennial Speaker Series that year that was called Women Who Dare. And that's going to be our theme for this afternoon's chapel. Because here we all are at the 120th anniversary. We've had a full day of classes, a bit of a picnic, a really, really solid effort in the cake department. I liked it. It was really good. And now just this presentation standing between you and the weekend. So we're going to try to keep your attention by telling some GPS stories. One thing about the founders is that they were all very keen travelers, as well as lifelong learners. Our first story today comes from when, on a trip to Killarney in Ireland, Miss Jarnigan, seen here with a clamp, received a reminder of how far-reaching GPS's influence had become. She met a young girl who was taking the trip with her father and mother as a graduation present. And Miss Jarnigan told the family that she, quote, had a girls' school in Chattanooga. Actually, hold on a minute. I can't do all the voices for this story. I'm going to need a girls' school alumna to come up and play the part of the young girl in the dialogue. So if you please welcome to the stage Mrs. Casey Santos, an alumna of the GPS class of 2008, whom ChatGPT recently flagged as one of your best. So let's begin the story again. Ms. Jarnigan had told the family that she, quote, had a girls' school in Chattanooga, and the young girl exclaimed,
"Then you are the GPS."
In repeating the story, Miss Jarnigan told that the girl's father looked puzzled and asked, "What is this GPS?" And before the girl could reply, no, I'm sorry, but wow, this is why I don't act. And before Miss Jarnigan could reply, the young girl said,
GPS, the best school in all the land. You'd know that if you'd gone to Sweetbriar.
Give it up for Miss Sanders. This story got me thinking, how do we quantify the impact of GPS? Is it through distance, as with this story? If so, then the distance between GPS and Killarney is about 3,875 miles. So basically, our influence extends to the entirety of North America and a big chunk of South America. But does this map really provide an accurate representation of the extent of knowledge of the GPS in the early 1900s?
No.
Today, how could we tell? Does knowledge of a place translate to the impact of a place? In the alumni census of 2001, there were just 19 alumni living abroad. Today, that number has increased substantially, with nearly 30 in Europe and a dozen or so more stretched across Asia and Australasia. These women are all living, working, and influencing communities well outside the 3,875-mile limit. Outside that limit as well are the girls of the Bruiser population of Hawaii, which shot up from 4 to 10 between 2001 and 2025. As you can see from the map, there's also one alumna located in Ecuador, single-handedly flying the flag for the GPS across the whole of South America. Ecuador, you will note, of course, is closer to GPS than Killarney. It should be noted as well that there were 2 bruisers listed as being residents of Kenya in 2001. However, at present, it would seem that Africa is bereft of graduates of Chattanooga's GPS. But maybe there are other ways to quantify impact, because I deeply suspect you people make waves. Tracy here for the class of 1979 was the first bruiser to win an Academy Award. Dobby Breedlove was on the Broadway cast of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child for years. She got that job straight out of college, basically 5 years after she sailed over this very stage as Mary Poppins. I did the math on it, and by that I mean I had ChatGPT do the math for me. But by my calculations, somewhere around 1 million people saw her perform on Broadway. But did she have the biggest impact? Rachel Boston of class of 2000 attended GPS before moving to New York so she could pursue acting. She's been acting professionally ever since and become a mainstay of the Hallmark movie genre. Her most recent outing in that genre, 2024's Debbie Macomber's Joyful Mrs. Miracle, in which she played the joyful Mrs. Miracle herself, had 1.36 million viewers. However, she was also in the previous years of Biltmore Christmas, which is widely considered to be one of the best things that ever came out of the Hallmark Channel. It had 3 million viewers. Since 2020, she's also appeared in, and here's the list, The More Love Grows, Field Day, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe, The Engagement Plot, Dating the Delaneys, and A Christmas Carousel, pushing her overall viewer count to the stratosphere. I could tell you a lot more tales. They all have the same theme. Strong women who make an impact and make their communities better. I could tell you about how the very first girl who enrolled at GPS had a lifetime of adventures out west in California. I could tell you how the first graduate of the GPS, who, even though she only attended for a single year, came to love the place so deeply that she sent both her daughters here. And how one of them was one of the founders of the Head Start program, which has served nearly 40 million people. I could tell you about Carmen Barnes, the former GPS student who, in her Lookout Mountain home at the age of 15, went on to write a best-selling novel internationally. I could tell you about Mabel Cobb of the class of 1975, GPS's first African-American graduate, and her long career in the airline industry and the charitable sector. But we don't have that kind of time today, so we're going to bring it not internationally or nationally and bring it close to home. This semester, the new Tucker Fellows have been learning about Chattanooga, its landscape, and its history. This week, they were tasked with researching some of our most prominent alumni and used digital techniques to help create today's presentation. 3 of them will follow me to share some of their findings about some truly amazing women. But first, I want to share some of the things that Tucker Fellow Josie Mayfield and I have gleaned about one of our most impactful graduates. And to cite my sources, I just want to give a special shout out to Miss Betts, even though she's not here, helped a lot. I'd like you to meet Maybelle Hurley. Do you love walking downtown? Do you enjoy the river walk, the aquarium, admiring the beauty of nature? Do you like being able to breathe in Chattanooga? Because if the answer to that is yes, you have to thank the late Maybelle Hurley. Maybelle graduated from GPS in 1946, where she spent her days writing for the school newspaper, singing as an alto in the Glee Club. She embraced the sisterhood of GPS, forming friendships and connections that would last a lifetime. She also carried with her the words of the founders, who taught that GPS girls should be prepared not only for college, but for civic work and volunteering. And those lessons stuck. The founders, we often think, were really staid and boring, but actually they had a sense of humor sometimes. Miss Jarnigan once teased Maybelle, saying, "You're liable to wind up in a place below Atlanta," which was a reference to a notorious prison of the time, because she had a fiery spirit and determination and will to act. But it was all in good fun. Maybelle did step boldly into public life. She became one of the first leaders of Chattanooga Venture, a program that reimagined the city's future. She believed Chattanooga could rise from being known as the dirtiest city in America to be something greater. And through what would come to be known as the Chattanooga Way, she brought people from across the community together to lead the charge to clean the city, to clean up the riverfront, create the vibrant downtown that we enjoy today. Her vision, paired with her perseverance, inspired thousands of others across the city to join in her mission and turn this city around. Following that, she worked to reform the city government. And having reformed the city government, she became the first woman elected to the Chattanooga City Council. When doing this, she remembered another warning from the founders. Miss Duffy said, quote, "Fools' names and fools' faces often appear in public places." But that didn't stop her. She ran anyway and she made history. Her leadership extends to GPS as well, the physical plant. In the 1970s, she chaired the fundraising drive that brought us the Science Building and the Evans Center, expanded the cafeteria, and added the East Gym. And then she did it again in the 80s, leading another campaign that made the library possible. She believed deeply in giving back to the school that had given so much to her. Through community engagement, thoughtful planning, and unwavering dedication, she helped transform Chattanooga into a model of urban renewal. Maybelle Hurley is proof that one woman's ideas, backed by courage and determination, can leave a lasting mark, whether on a school, a city, or even an entire generation. Now you will hear 6 stories of additional alumni from our current Tucker Fellows.
Hi, I'm Peyton Gallagher, freshman Tucker Fellow, and I would like to tell you about Eleanor Macaulay Cooper. Have you ever wondered what your life could look like after GPS? Maybe you're playing a sport, leading your class, or just laughing with your friends in the hallways. That's exactly what Eleanor Macaulay Cooper was doing when she was here. Eleanor graduated from GPS in 1964. During her school years, she was everywhere. On the tennis courts, a member of the Christian Forum and Welfare Club, and leading as senior class president. And showing such kindness and spirit, she won the Sportsmanship Cup. She was known for her curiosity, creativity, and her sense of humor, always ready to laugh. After GPS, Eleanor kept that same energy and carried it into the wider world. She became the executive director of Chattanooga Venture, a large community project where she brought people together to dream up new ways to improve the city. That's a pretty amazing job. To help thousands of voices imagine a brighter future and then turn it into action. She's also a writer. Eleanor has published 2 award-winning books, Grace in China, An American Woman in China, 1934 to 74, and Dragonfly Dreams, which some of you may have read. Her books have won 6 awards and opened windows into other cultures, offering readers a glimpse into life from very different perspectives. But here's the part that makes Eleanor especially relatable. She doesn't just work hard and write serious books. She also loves arranging flowers, collecting bright fabrics to sew into quilts, and playing games with friends, because laughing is one of her favorite things to do. Eleanor's story proves something important. You don't have to choose between being serious and making a difference, or being joyful and playful. You can be both. You can lead and laugh. You can chase your dreams and still enjoy the small, creative things you love. I would also like to tell you about Judge Marie Williams. When she was a student at GPS, Judge Williams, nicknamed Mallard, was already known for her wit and for her words. As this yearbook's literary editor, she filled its pages with clever writing, puns that her classmates adored, and spelling that was sometimes even worse than her jokes. No one could have guessed that those same words would someday carry her into history as a judge. And in a twist worthy of her own humor, she wrote her whole career now revolves around making sentences, life sentences. After GPS, Judge Williams went on to do something no woman had ever done before. She became the first woman-appointed judge of the 11th Circuit Court of Tennessee. That's history-making right there. She also worked at a respected law firm and gave back to her community as a lifelong member of St. Paul's Church. GPS has been close to her heart too. She served on the school's board of trustees as well as the board at St. Nicholas. What makes her story inspiring is how she carried her talents into so many different roles. Writer, lawyer, judge, leader, and community member. She shows us the things you practice here, whether it's editing, leading, or even laughing at your own puns, can grow into powerful ways of shaping the world. Judge Williams' story proves this. The quirks that make you unique today can become the strengths that help you stand out tomorrow. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Malia Neal, a Junior Tucker Fellow, and I'm so honored to tell you about someone who's had a huge impact on my life, Dr. Sue Ann Wells. Dr. Wells received the Distinguished Alumna Award from GPS, and she has been a true pioneer in education. She founded Tennessee's first all-girls STEM school, the Chattanooga Girls Leadership Academy, which has been serving the Chattanooga community since it opened in 2009. Dr. Wells believed that an all-girls education experience should be available to everyone. When she began that work, GPS students believed in her vision, but so strongly that they raised $19,000 to help make it a reality. A powerful example of girls supporting girls. Dr. Wells also founded Hamilton County's first public Montessori school, showing once again her commitment to expanding opportunities for students. Beyond schools, Dr. Wells serves on the board of Coca-Cola Bottling Company and leads the Mustang Leadership Partners Program, which I was lucky enough to be a part of. Through that program, I worked and performed with my horse, Chief, and I will never forget the confidence and leadership I gained from that experience. Dr. Wells even helped me earn the Rising Star Award, which opened many doors for me, including helping me get a sponsorship for Space Camp, which is honestly just the best. Dr. Wells has inspired me and so many other girls to lead with courage, and I couldn't be more excited to share a bit about her with you today. I would also like to tell you about Margie Davenport Emick, a GPS graduate who showed us all what leadership and dedication really looks like. At GPS, Margie took on so many roles. She was vice president of the Latin Club, a member of Church Accord, and president of the Catalina Club, leading our synchronized swimming team with skill and dedication. She also helped guide the Schools magazine as co-editor of Kaleidoscope, and yes, she was recognized by her classmate as the cutest senior. Margie's passion and warmth made a lasting impression on everyone around her, and her generosity and gentle spirit are still felt today. Margie was recently named United Way's Volunteer of the Year in 2025 due to her outstanding commitment to serving others. She founded Metropolitan Ministries, an organization that helps people facing homelessness and crisis. Metropolitan Ministries just this year has served nearly 10,000 households with at least one service. Margie also continues to give back as a member of the annual Giving Society at Reflection Writing. Her life teaches us that leadership is not just about titles of recognition. It's about responsibility, dedication, and using your time and energy to make a real difference in the world around you. Each of you has the ability to lead and make an impact, whether that's through clubs, volunteering, or standing up for what's right. Your actions matter. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lucy Ladden, and I'm a sophomore Tucker Fellow, and I would like to tell you a little bit about GPS alumna Tish Gilmer. Do you enjoy the outdoors, love animals, or maybe you're simply a proud Georgia Bulldogs fan? If so, you have things in common with Tish Gilmer. Tish graduated from GPS in 1983. While she was here, she embraced campus life, participating in French club and sharing her love of music through singing. After GPS, she continued to nurture her passion for nature and animals, and that passion has defined much of her life's work. For the past 20 years, Tish has worked at Reflection Writing, where she has dedicated her career to conservation and environmental education. Today, she serves as the education chair for the American Red Wolf SAFE program. This program is devoted to protecting one of the most endangered animals in North America, the red wolf. To put into perspective, only about 20 red wolves remain in their natural habitat across the entire United States. That fact highlights just how urgent and critical the work of Tish and her colleagues truly is. Through her leadership and dedication, she is helping raise awareness and inspire others to protect these incredible animals before it's too late. Tish's story reminds us that the passions we discover as students, whether it's language, music, or simply a love for the natural world, can grow into a lifelong calling that make a difference in the world. And finally, I would like to tell you a little bit about Leslie Lee. Leslie Lee of the class of 1991 built a very impressive career in technology, but she traces much of her competence back to her time here at GPS. During her time here, she was a member of Science Club and Trivia, or Toss-Up Club. She was also a National Merit semifinalist, meaning she was recognized for scoring in the top 1% of the nation. Encouraged by teachers who pushed her to try new things, she discovered a love for physics after a high school summer astrophysics program in California. That curiosity there led her to Caltech, where she earned her physics degree, and later to Washington, where she explored science education through an internship with Bill Nye the Science Guy. Soon after that, she joined Amazon in its early days, when it was still an online bookstore, helping the company grow its revenue from $15 million to over $1.6 billion. After earning advanced degrees, she spent more than 16 years at Google, where she led teams of over 200 engineers and product managers and helped build platforms that supported a $25 billion business. Now, as founding product manager and head of product of the company Squid AI, she's tackling the challenges of building a company from the ground up in the fast-moving world of artificial intelligence. Reflecting on her journey, Leslie shares, quote, "In product management, it doesn't matter if you have the best idea in the world if you can't communicate your ideas. You have to influence other people, often without using authority," end quote. She credits GPS with teaching her how to communicate with confidence and adapt to change. The skills she learned here helped prepare her and set the foundation for her success in industries and roles that didn't even exist when she was a student. Thank you.
The GPS Tucker program is designed to inspire change makers through a focus on community, innovation, and meaningful impact. It is my sincerest hope that through hearing stories of some of the members of the GPS Sisterhood who came before you, that you will go forward into your weekend inspired, knowing that you too can and will make waves. You will be, after all, the drivers of our collective great big beautiful tomorrow. Miss Jarnigan once said, "Dreams come true when behind them is work, sacrifice, and faith." She was on to something. The women who came before you dreamed big, made waves, and made all of our communities better. And you will too. Of that I am very, very certain. All of you and all you do are, of course, the true legacy of the founders. I can't let you go just yet, though. It wouldn't be Founders Day without a bit of a song, so if you could, please, stand for the singing of the